Good day, YouTubers, and thank you for tuning in to today's very different video on YouTube. Now, you might be wondering, why are you recording a video relatively early today? Well, that's because I'm going to be doing an announcement. Recently, on my YouTube channel, I've actually just seen a massive apocalypse and a massive choke of various videos that have not been meant to be made for kids, but what I'm seeing is something quite horrific. My YouTube channel is seeing a lot of videos which often involves toy reviews, and the worst part is they have no comments. So just one moment here, I need to cough straight away. Well, after that cough, I'm actually starting to begin to feel like that cough YouTube is now becoming a complete dumbass site. And it's always been like that ever since it has basically ruined. I think the thing that sort of ruined YouTube, I think the trigger point was definitely when YouTube would have introduced the partner for all sort of thing. I think that was back in 2012. Okay, but then there's also another thing I actually haven't really mentioned, of course, for a long time, but I have now. It was the demonetization bot and also the double flagging on videos on YouTube, which really is just straightforward disappointing. But the thing I'm actually on about today is I got very narky. I got so narky for the fact that I'm just sort of thinking, well, if I'm making a video that's not made for kids, like let's just say if I did a toy review of one of the Cars toys, not a Disney Pixar one, but just a generic toy that looks like something out of Disney Cars, or Pixar's Cars, obviously. What if I did a toy review like this again? But then let's just say if the YouTube algorithm sees that, well then it's not. It's going to be straightforward. It's going to be straightforward. Not going to be allowing comments on YouTube. It's going to be like on the dump for like being made for kids. Okay, or even in this case, if I decided to smash some cars up, really, if I wanted to try and smash one of these up, which I'm not going to, but honestly, if I was going to be doing another toy review which involves some of my custom cars, I'm not going to straightforward destroy them because they're actually my cars. I take sincere care with my toys. You got with me now? And hold up, my throat is getting absolutely narky with me today. Let me just take myself a break here. I've actually been looking around through my YouTube channel, and I've actually turned down the sound because I've noticed that there's actually quite a lot of toys, or even a lot of things that I've covered so far throughout this week, and I think it's definitely safe to say that I'm actually straightforward thinking I'm actually having enough. And I'm actually having enough now on toy reviews because, strangely enough, I wasn't really expecting to do, 3 in a row. Basically, I was doing 3 toy reviews in a row, and well, basically 4 toy reviews in a row. So what I'm sort of thinking is that after doing 3 in a row or 4 in a row, I might as well just give up. I might as well just stop doing toy reviews for basically the next 3 to 4 days. Who knows? I mean, what do you think about that? I mean, who knows? Can anyone leave a comment on this? Because I'm just straightforward thinking that YouTube is turning into an absolute crap site these days, and I'm really straightforward sorry if I have to start this rant all over again. Because I do know that YouTube already is a really wonderful place, but sadly today's YouTube is just being ruined by the complete shite-ass government. Actually, the shite-ass stuff that I've seen so far recently with the demonetization bot, the double flagging in my videos, the Made for Kids Act, which unfortunately has become, the Copper Act, which I have no, I have no control. Obviously, I have no control against what the YouTube algorithm has got to do with me because I'm not that popular. Okay, if I ever think back to, let's just say if I looked at a popular toy viewer or a toy producer, or let's just say a very popular video producer on YouTube, well, ho hum. It's almost like I've got nothing else to say because I'm not well educated on the fact that YouTube is straightforward, very dependent on money these days. And also, the thing is now, it's becoming very impossible to make videos which involve money on YouTube because, I have to say, 90% of all YouTubers these days wouldn't even make it to just get like 1,000 subscribers or even 4,000 views. And actually, it's both, which in a sense is a great big amount of crap. It's just a pity that YouTube just doesn't seem to have the frivolity and the joy it used to have back when it was started around 2005. Things were so good. Of course, you've also got other problems which often include, and I mean, I'm really sick and tired. I'm really sorry if I have to sound so serious though, because okay, I just hope Google can just straightforward respond as I'm making this video here on YouTube, because I can definitely say that YouTube and Google are becoming so sinister and so deceptive as I'm making this video on YouTube. So what? I mean, who knows of what I could really say about making a toy review, and then the YouTube system just basically carks, my videos on YouTube. That is just becoming so deceptive in the way YouTube is now becoming. It's so deceiving that, YouTuber today, it's just so vastly different. And the way it's so vastly different, it plays in a different manner compared to what YouTube back then actually had. Back then we had some very good stuff back then, like, I think some time ago in the past, I think a long time ago, I think before, let me just say, around 2008, I think that's when YouTube introduced annotations, and then in 10 years' time, they got rid of annotations, and I mean, that was really ugly for YouTube, and I think YouTube has done a really bad move, and I mean, why YouTube has done such a very, has done a very, let's just say a very big batch of, let's just say, terrible things. And really, this has to stop. This has to stop. Because what I'm also seeing is, well, if I have a look at some of my toy reviews, some of them don't even have the ability to actually straightforward allow YouTubers to comment on my videos on YouTube. And I wonder why. Why YouTube is just straightforward becoming this one sinister, let's just say, sinister piece of crap site that just want to straightforward, well, after uploading a video on YouTube, it then straightforward turns off comments on YouTube. Why would you? It's not even very much safe without having comments on YouTube. Well, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Well, I'm just straightforward ranting here just because, well, I just really don't know what's going on with the site these days. It's just a nightmare. And honestly, if I ever think back to, let's just say, when YouTube has become so gold in 2007, it's almost like, why would you do something else? Like, here's my hand here because I'm just wiping saliva on my tablet here. But really, I think this has to stop. Again, YouTube just never wants to listen about, or never wants to adhere to what I actually say and what I show on my YouTube channel. And basically, what I'm now seeing is, if toy reviews are going to straightforward be made for kids, I'm going to pay back YouTube now. Basically, this is now becoming a thing now. I mean, this has to stop really here. And it just doesn't bode well. And I really do sort of remember, like, well, I'm not really over 100. Well, actually, I am over 100 subscribers, but I'm not over 1,000 subscribers. But I don't have that many views as well, too. I've only got about 10,000. Well, actually, I got 33,000, over 33,000 views. But that to me just doesn't really meet the YouTube algorithm system. Maybe I can try and talk about that in a separate video on YouTube involving and how my YouTube channel just went. It went straightforward, very gold during the pandemic, but then after the pandemic, it then started to slump. Sadly, what I'm seeing here is that YouTube straightforward seems to, well, let's just say, recalcitrantly never care about the things that I'm just straightforward showing on YouTube. Or maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just straightforward showing all of this random content on YouTube that just wouldn't make, I just share a wide myriad of videos on YouTube that also doesn't seem to make sense. And that also doesn't seem to make sense to me too, because why would I even bother to just straightforward make videos aligned to the certain topics that I tend to cover on my YouTube channel? And remembering that I really don't make ads here at the moment. Okay, so, well, I don't make ads, but I just straightforward make trailers. Just for the fun part of it. Okay, that's straightforward, much more of a very strange, nonsensical, quote I can really put onto this, because, you could really say trailers are basically just advertisements. Well, then, who knows? Well, I'm not very popular, of course, at the moment still. Oh my god, what is going on with my throat today? Anyways, I'm gonna have to straightforward end this video here, because this video is getting tap in the shoulder. Oh, this is actually straightforward way too long. Really, I think YouTube really needs to stop doing all these stupid acts. And I'm really sorry if I have to start ranting here, because I'm sorry if YouTube is becoming this complete toxic site, then that's it. Maybe I need to look for somewhere else, but then trying to find somewhere else because, it's not really simple because the other things here, other than YouTube, are just very clunky. Like, I've tried TikTok and their systems are also very clunky as well too. But the amount of stuff they do here, in terms of the performance of the algorithms that they use, it's fairly mixed. I can definitely see some very good attention data on TikTok, but then I'm also starting to see some very bad stuff in it. Okay, but I'm not going to go ahead into TikTok because I'm on about YouTube. Because clearly YouTube is becoming a complete and utter nightmare. And I know there's a lot of videos which are just sent for like, it's so weird. Like, whenever I talk about a video that is just like not made for kids, but if I showed, like, let's just say if I had a picture of Thomas the Tank or Lightning McQueen or any other cartoon character that is usually made for kids, but then if I actually set a video which is like made for kids, well then that seems to be straightforward on top of the line. Well, I don't know what to really say, but the thing is, making videos on YouTube which involves toy reviews, but then you're not sending up as a video that is made for kids, it's straightforward risky business. And I'm sorry if there's actually slamming downstairs underneath because, well, there's a lot of shifting from whoever's looking after me today but I'm not going to straightforward acknowledge because of privacy reasons. But the point is that I'm trying to explain why YouTube is now becoming a really toxic site. And that, in a sense, why in the heck am I doing toy reviews? But at the same time, I'm also campaigning myself to be against toy reviews. And basically, I'm going to be doing this for basically 3 days, or even 4 days. And that's because the site is just really rotten these days. And whoever thought YouTube was just straightforward becoming a really harmonious site, when in reality it's now turning into a giant pile of crap and mess these days on YouTube. It's a rotten place to get your views and also to get likes. We've already seen videos which used to get disliked, now being straightforward stripped away. And speaking of being liked, I might straightforward think about something else which is nice and positive throughout the rest of this whole video, because all I'm straightforward thinking of is this straightforward pessimistic piece of shite that's been circling around YouTube for a long period of time. I mean, I feel like I want to give myself a complete break on toy reviews and move on to something else. Because you know what? Toy reviews are not just pointlessly useless, well, they are pointless and useless at the same time, but at the same time, why would I even bother mangling and mingling around with the YouTube algorithm system that just wants to keep being completely and utterly shite with me these days? I'm really sick of it. Well, honestly, doing toy reviews, well, it can be great for kids, but of course I'm sorry if I'm ranting here, but I'm ranting for a very good reason. It's all I'm doing is just for fun, okay, not for money purposes. But then maybe one day, if my YouTube channel goes up to 1,000 subscribers, I can just straightforward think about making money on YouTube. Well, it's gonna take a while for YouTube to just straightforward be used as something else. I mean, really, that's something. I just can't wait if YouTube is gonna straightforward find solutions in terms of what I'm feeling at the moment now, because obviously YouTube, and I mean, I will still be making videos there. Don't you worry, because I do know that even if YouTube is just peeving me off, and I'm just being very careful not to swear here, but I do know that because YouTube is not good these days, I'll just keep on swearing. And even in the fact if I have to like cover a certain toy like this, or even in this case, make a video that is straightforward not for kids, but then all of a sudden the algorithm detects that there's something that is made for kids, well then I can just tell YouTube to F off. Well, I'm sorry I can't do that. Or even in this case, I could just say, get a life. But then that would just straightforward be a little bit too abrasive from my hindsight. Okay, so anyways, I'm sorry if I have to really rant at this part of the video on YouTube, but I'm really getting sick and tired, and I've just gone off like a rocket. In the fact that, in a sense, I've been doing like 3 to 4 toy reviews throughout the rest of this week, and I'm just sort of thinking maybe, just maybe, it's time for me to end here, because I can assure you that the more toy reviews I do these days on YouTube, the more risk rewards I'll be getting. So you won't be seeing me doing toy reviews throughout the next 3 to 4 days. I can guarantee to you, and I can move on to something else if I want to. If I want to, well, that would be fantastic. Well, if only if YouTube becomes much more, let's say, respectable these days. I'm just hoping that YouTube has to change its stupid attitude and just basically listen to what I'm saying here. Even though I'm not really popular that much, and even though I'm not very popular already on YouTube, I'm still straightforward, happy with what I've got. It's just that this site here, or this platform of social media, it's basically becoming, just rotten, hard, solid crap these days. I don't know what to really say. Anyways, if you really enjoyed this video or not, I certainly didn't, please give this video a good like. Subscribe for more for that videos in the future. And as always, thanks so much for watching. And bye for now. I just really hope YouTube listens to me. I'm really certainly over it.